percentage fractions. And let's just do a quick little review, because this is just one step farther here. If I had 1 minus 3/5, and you saw that problem on your homework, step number 1 is to do what, Ryan?
Drop it down.
Sure. Very good. Click on the vertical. You always have to think about vertical and horizontal. You always have to think about what you're doing. So yeah, it's going to look like this: 1 minus 3/5, correct? And then what do you have to do? Yeah. You can't take 3/5 away from nothing there, so you have to. Okay, you have to borrow from this, make it a 0, and this becomes 5/5. And I'm going to guess 3/5 from 5/5 is 2/5. I'm going to guess some of you probably even put 5/5 there right away. I guess it's not the biggest concern I have here. But today we're taking it just kind of one step farther, and it's really no different. But instead of this number being just 1s, which we've always been doing, what if it is a 9 minus 3 7/8? Okay, what if it was 9 minus 3 7/8? Well, it's kind of the same thing, Sammy. What's going to happen here is it's going to be, you're still going to, and make sure you cross it off and make it an 8. And then what fraction are you going to put over there? How do I know it's 8/8? What tells me it's 8/8? This number down here. Whatever this is the number you put over this number over here. 7/8 from 8/8 is 1/8. And 8 from 3 is 5. So you get 5 and 1/8. Now, can I tell you, children, people make mistakes on this all the time, especially when they try to do it mentally. For example, if you go to a store and you're buying, what's something you buy at the store?
Pizza.
You're buying milk. That's a good one. That was quick. You go in there and the gallon of milk costs $2.25. Okay, that's pretty cheap right now. It should be up to size $3 right now. Those of you that are thrifty shoppers, if you can get it for under $2.50, it's probably great. Anyway, point being this, okay, if I bought my $2.25 gallon of milk and I gave the lady at the cash register a $5 bill, how much change should I get back? Now the mistake most people do when they do that subtracting, now let me change the problem to make it, instead of $2.25, let me make it 2 1/4, because that's what it is. If you take 2 1/4 from $5 minus 2 1/4, a lot of people make this mistake and they'll say the answer is, and I want to ask you which of you are thinking, a lot of them say, well, it should be 3 3/4. Okay, that is not right, because they subtracted a whole number from a fraction and they didn't subtract a 1 from over here. Let me show you, maybe this will happen. Here's your $5 minus 2 1/4, because a fourth of a dollar is 25 cents. Yes, you're going to get 3/4 here, but where did that 3/4 come from? That came from when you borrowed from the 5 and made it a 4, and this became your 4/4. So when you subtract 2, you don't take 2 away from the 5 to get 3, you take 2 away from the 4 to get 2. And so many people forget to do that when they give change or think about change. It's unbelievable. So let me quiz you on that here. Let's say you're taking 1 5/8 from 3. What is 3 minus 1 5/8? Can you do that in your head? You should be able to do it in your head. Well, what plus 5/8 gives you a whole? Well, let's change it. Let me just make it half. Let me just do halves because halves is easy. 1 1/2 from 3 is, if you take $1.50 away from $3, how much do you have left, Ryan?
1.5.
1.5. Was anybody thinking 2.5? I got it. How about this? You $3.5, $10 minus $3.50, which is 3.5. $10 minus 3.50 or 3.5. Write on your piece of paper what your answer should be. 10 minus 3.5. 10 minus 3.5. Without doing the work, you can be able to do this in your head. Because when you're doing change, sometimes you have to do it in your head. 10 minus 3.5. We got an answer?
No.
I'm just seeing. 10 minus 3.5. Oh, some of you are maybe doing change for me. 10 minus 3.5. I guess if you have to write it down, you have to, but sometimes when you do a change, like at the concession stand, if you have to be working for your parents, okay, you won't have, and that could be true, $3.50, $10 minus $3.50, $10 minus $3.50. $10 minus, I was hoping you could do that in your head. $10 minus $3.50. $10 minus $3.50. The answer should be $6.50. $10 minus 3 1/2. Cross this off, this becomes a 9. This becomes a 2/2, so you get 1/2. Some people put 7.5, but they forget they have to make this 2/2 from somewhere. Now whether you can do that or not, I don't know, but at some point in your life you should be able to make change because you'll never know in the store if the person gives you the right change. Right?
I just have to say, if a cashier gave me 7.5 instead of 6.5, I'd make it $1.
You'd what?
I'd make $1.
I know, but you being an honest person would say, here, you gave me too much change. Right. So that's what we're talking about today. You gotta remember when you're subtracting something, you're always borrowing from something else. How about one more here? How about 14 minus 6 3/5? What would be your answer for that? 14 minus, by the way, when you start actually buying stuff using your own money, you start to care a little bit more about what change you get. If it's your parents' money, you're like, oh, so what, they gave me the wrong change, I don't care. But when it's your own money and you have to work for that money, then you start to care a little bit more. Just my own personal observation. I could be way wrong. But it's all a headway anyway, don't you think? Ron thinks it's a handway, don't you?
Maybe.
That's what I would say. We got an answer? Taylor says, let's check. 7 2/5, she says. This becomes a 13, this becomes a 5/5, giving you 2/5. 6 from 13. Did I do something wrong?
No.
7 2/5.